K,
K.
K, K,
K, K.
and try to swallow. And then that'll get your...
We are going live, guys.
Oh, I guess we're... Here we are again. Sorry about that. Hi, this is Shirley Gutkowski, your host of The Spot for Health, letting the community know where to go in Sun Prairie for health. And today we have a pretty different kind of a guest. I'm pretty excited to have her on here. Her name is Ollerie Hackman. She's the owner of the Oilerie Sun Prairie. She opened the Oilerie in March of this year. Yay, there's the picture. In the shops at Prairie Lakes, so you may find it there. I drove past it a couple of times, and I'm anxious to get a step in there. It looks super awesome. The Oilerie is America's first olive oil bar store, and it was founded by Kurt and Amy Jo Campbell of Fish Creek, Wisconsin. If you can picture where Fish Creek is, I think is that near Milwaukee?
It's up in Door County.
Door County, where they keep fishes. Okay. The Oilerie Sun Prairie is the 4th Oilerie store in Wisconsin and the 8th one in the United States. Ollerie saw Kurt Campbell on Shark Tank, which is how I became aware of it, and sent in an application for a franchise. The Oilerie, including a brief appearance by her on Beyond the Tank, where they did a follow-up on Kurt and what had happened to him after the Shark Tank appearance. He did not get a shark, did he?
No, he didn't get the shark. And because they don't like the franchise aspect of it, they don't make any money that way.
Right.
But Kurt's show is really popular, so they play it, kind of often.
Right.
And again, I saw it, and a lot of other people saw it. There are 2 stores that are going to be opening up, Oilerie stores. There's one in Houston that's going to be opening up next month, and there's one just outside of Seattle. So, and we all, about the same time, sent in applications.
That's really cool. So that means that you own your store.
I do.
Right?
I'm an independent operator.
Independent operator. And you live here in Sun Prairie?
I live in Columbus.
In Columbus. Okay, so how long have you been in the area then?
So I grew up in Wisconsin. I grew up in Kewanee, Wisconsin. And then I went to Stevens Point. I was living in Illinois for about 15 years. And then
you got out of there.
And then I got out of there. I got so tired of the traffic. And then so I moved to Madison, and I recently moved to Columbus.
Nice.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, it is a nice area. I travel quite a bit, and wherever I go, and there are people like, oh, where are you from? Well, Madison, because if you say Sun Prairie, they just don't.
Right, they don't really
What's
know.
That? So, and they're always like, oh, I love Madison. I love Madison. So, yeah, it's a pretty popular place. But this is a show about health. And when my producer, Philip, came and said, the Oilerie is going to be on the Spot for Health show, I was like, great, because there's a lot of health benefits for olive oil. And the idea that we can learn more about olive oil at your shop is really awesome.
Right, and part of the health benefits are you need to make sure that olive oil is fresh.
I was going to ask you about rancidity.
Right, to that end, we have a relationship with a 4th generation olive oil producer in Italy. Kurt and Amy Jo Campbell formed that relationship. And so he and his family grow the olives and produce the olive oil, send it directly to us. So it's as fresh as we can get it. And we also, since we know the producer, we know its quality, it's manufactured specifically for us.
So you get it from one person?
It's a family
over there.
Yes.
Family, yeah.
Right, but he's our main contact point.
That's interesting. And we saw a picture of it a little bit ago. You have it in metal containers because the light affects the oil, right? And that's why when you're buying olive oil at the store, the darker the container, the better off you are? Is that fair to say?
Correct. So you want to make sure, what date it was manufactured on, and then to use it within those dates. And also which countries it's coming from. A lot of olive oils contain olives from a lot of different countries, and that's not bad or anything, but it takes a long time to get from the other countries to the main location. So you just want to make sure that it's as fresh as you can get it for the most health benefits.
And that's probably why we need someplace like the Oilerie, because you don't know what's happening at the grocery store. No offense to the grocery stores.
Right,
but
no.
people want olive oil, so they provide olive oil, and we're all standing. I stand there, and I'm reading all the labels on all of these olive oil bottles, and I'm like, I don't even know what's happening. I don't know the difference. I've never seen a date on a bottle.
Gotcha.
The other thing is once on Dr. Oz, we're talking about olive oil, and he said that olive oil, when it gets cold, gets solid. So if you put it in the refrigerator, your olive oil should be solidified after overnight or however long. And the olive oil I was getting did not solidify.
Oh.
I was like, okay, so I don't have olive oil. So is that the only test?
Well, the taste is really a true test. The nice thing about the Oilerie is it's an olive oil bar, so you can come in and you can try everything, all of our extra virgin olive oils and aged balsamic vinegars, and the taste will be probably a lot brighter than you're used to. It's there's a lot of peppery notes at the end. There's a lot of differences just with the olives themselves. So when you taste it compared to maybe what you're buying at the store, you're going to see that, wow, olive oil really has this beautiful olivey taste, and that's what it's supposed to taste like. But I mean, you wouldn't know comparing necessarily one grocery store olive oil to another.
No, because they're all the same.
Right, and it's not like you're going to buy multiples and just do a
No,
taste
'cause
test at
it's
home.
expensive.
It's expensive. It's expensive, and you want to make sure that you like it. If you like it, you're going to use it on your food, and then you're going to be able to eat a lot healthier.
Right. So I'm writing a cookbook.
Oh, nice.
And I'm working with a co-author. Actually, it's a recipe book because we're not coming up with recipes. So we were talking about olive oil back and forth, and I said, you know, maybe we shouldn't say to use olive oil in this recipe because we're going to be frying. And that was another thing that I had learned about olive oil, was that you shouldn't use it at high temperatures and that you should use it only on salads and stuff. And so we went and we did some research, and we were at the, what is it called? The International Olive Council.org site.
Okay.
And they told us, they said that it's perfectly safe to heat olive oil. So, myth busted.
It's higher than the information that's out there. You still need to watch that you don't sear something super, super hot. To that end, we have some other oils that we could recommend. We have an avocado oil that's also a really heart-healthy monounsaturated, but the smoke point of avocado oil is 520. So basically, if you have maybe a nice piece of meat that you want to sear on the grill or something really high heat, you might do something like that. At a certain point, olive oil is not going to hold up as well as...
So what we came across was that the smoke point for olive oil was like 412 degrees. And I think for most frying that people do at home, that's plenty.
It is plenty.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Unless
So
you put it on the grill or something.
so that was a good find that you had.
Yeah, I was like, okay, this is awesome. I love being able to bust myths and pinch people for saying the wrong thing. I'm all about that. Ha-ha. So you also, so you don't only have olive oil there. Is that what I was just picking up on?
That's correct. That's correct. We have extra virgin olive oils. We have 5 traditional flavors that are flavored just with the olives, and then we have a number of olive oils that are flavored. For example, we have a lemon that's crushed with a Meyer lemon at the time when the olive oil is made. So it's a really nice light flavor, especially for summer salads or like fish or chicken. Gives a really nice extra layer of flavor in there. Garlic is our most popular.
You keep talking about notes and layers of flavor and stuff like that. Now you sound like a wine lady. So, and that was something that was brought out on the Shark Tank too, with Mr. Wonderful talking about how he's this Mr. Oil expert too, or whatever. And so that's something. Do you have like classes too, or is this something people are stumbling
we don't
on?
yet, but when people come in, we'll give them a whole tour, and then we'll teach them how to taste olive oils. It is a lot like tasting wine. So for example, when you try olive oil, you're just going to put a little bit on your tongue, and at first you're going to taste the olives. And it's really interesting, the the variety just within just the ones that are flavored with the olives. So it's a lot like Macintosh apples versus Gala versus Cortland, how all apples have a little bit different flavor. All olives have a little bit different flavor. So that's kind of neat. So when you're tasting, again, first the olives, then it has a middle where you're going to taste a grassiness or a spiciness. And at the end, some have a peppery finish, and it kind of blooms up the back of your throat.
Blooms.
And it's very interesting. So pretty quickly, people can hone in if they like that, if they don't, what tastes right to them.
Well, and then the health benefits of oils in general are just barely starting to surface.
That's true.
People have been so afraid of fats and oils for such a long time.
You're absolutely right.
And it's leading to some health problems and some health issues. In particular, I'm just going to point out that the entire brain is made of fat and cholesterol, and all of the nervous system is coated with a fatty covering. And if you're not eating enough oil, then your body has to make it, and then the balance gets to be off. So it's important to include oils into your cooking and into your regular diet.
That's exactly right. It has, besides being a monounsaturated fat, which replaces the good fats with, hopefully you can get rid of some of the bad fats, it has a lot of anti-inflammatory properties. So it helps regulate a lot of things like even blood sugar and diabetes. It helps with problems like rheumatoid arthritis. It helps with prevent cancers. It's really amazing.
Yeah, it's an important feature in any diet. So, and that's why it's so important to get the right kind of oil and figure out without spending $15 for the wrong bottle like I did. I don't know what it was, but it was not. No olive oil is inexpensive.
Correct.
And then when I pulled it out of the refrigerator that day, I was like, oh. And then what are you going to do? You're going to eat it anyway.
You are, because you've spent the money.
Right,
and,
which is ridiculous.
And it's the oil that you have.
That's it. It's the oil that you have. So when you're cooking vegetables, or when you're even using vegetables in a salad, the newer science is showing that the oil helps to release some of the nutrients in the food.
You're absolutely right.
I'm telling you.
It's fascinating. It's making vegetables even better than they were just on their own. And a lot of people, are really enjoying the fresh vegetables that are coming out now, and the fresh produce. But roasting vegetables all year long is fabulous too.
We started doing that this year. We roasted our first vegetables. I don't know why we never roasted vegetables before.
I didn't either until recently. And they're so much
yummy,
so much more delicious.
I know. Not that you could imagine. So what did we do? We just used root vegetables and we tossed them with olive oil, and then we put it in the oven for 45 minutes at 350 or something.
Exactly.
It wasn't a real hot oven.
Nope.
But boy, I tell you, the flavor is like bing. You throw an onion in there, and the whole house smells like heaven. And
exactly.
a couple of garlics.
Even people that don't like vegetables will eat those.
Exactly, and you can make that a whole meal.
Yes.
Because I often, the times that we did it, I was like, oh my God, this is a lot of vegetables. Where did they all come from? Because I only used like 2 carrots, 1 parsnip, blah, 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 and a half a potato or something like that. But it's crazy how really good that is. And I guess it's a little late in the year, but people should mark this down for later, that they roast their vegetables. So in order to get ready for this episode of The Spot for Health, I decided to look to see if there was any research to show that there are dental health benefits from olive oil. Because I recently was also shocked to learn that people with appropriate vitamin D levels have less cavities.
Oh.
I know, it's crazy. So sure enough, in 2003, the influence of olive oil emulsions on dentin demineralizations was a lab study, but they showed that olive oil was helpful in getting these discs of enamel to remineralize better than those without. Yeah. So it's good for your teeth too. I know, it's crazy.
It's fascinating.
It never ends. Dental health benefits never end, and how to improve better health goes along with all of that. So I'm so excited to learn all of that, because we do want to learn about putting food together with health and oral health. So you have a lot to do with that at your business. So you have the olive oil, you have other oils, and then I saw you have the balsamic vinegar.
Correct.
Which is a whole nother thing. I didn't look anything up about vinegar, but how are vinegars made, and why is it a good match with the oils?
Vinegars are really interesting. They're really low in calories. Ours are made with just a white Trebbiano grape that's been aged for many years in wood casks, and the flavor is really intense. You don't need much of it. A little goes a long way. And the flavors that you can get are fantastic, and they just pair really well with the olive oils, especially for salad. Right now, we're a lot of people are choosing a lemon extra virgin olive oil with either a raspberry balsamic vinegar or a pear, and that would just be, it's so easy. So you just have your lettuce and then just drizzle a little olive oil and just a little balsamic, and then maybe you have, say if it's pear, like some fresh pear, some fresh fruit in there, some cut apples, little toasted pecans, sprinkle of cheese, and it tastes amazing. So it's going to make you want to eat salads and want to eat fresh.
So that I can make any conversation turn into a dental conversation. It's a sickness. I'm so sorry, but there's a lack of chewing that's happening right now in the United States.
True.
And it's really turning into a big problem. And so when you're making a salad like you described, that's a 20-minute meal that you really can't be like running around doing it. So what a lot of people are doing is they're throwing it into a blender and they're drinking their salad. So how does that work with the olive oil and can you add those into a smoothie?
Sure.
A green smoothie?
Sure, I think that's fine, and I think that would really brighten up the flavor so that you have these great flavors that
and you would add the fat, which is what you need even for satiety, right? Because you need to, whatever you eat, you want it to keep you full for as long as possible.
Exactly. So yeah, that's a great idea. And I've seen a lot of people too, like starting to bring salads in a jar, like to work, and that's also an easy way too.
Well, it's better if you don't blend it. I'll just have to make sure I say it that way. So eat your salad alive and well as a salad, not as a drink. We need to chew in order to keep our teeth in our head and grow the maxilla. So sorry about that.
I will say too, with the balsamic vinegars, so they come from Modena, Italy, and ours are just the grape that's been aged, and there's no sugar or anything else added.
Does all vinegar come from grapes?
I believe it. Well, there is like rice wine vinegar, right?
I never put vinegar together with grapes.
Apple cider vinegar. Yeah, so it's a really different experience. So we did go to the store just to get some balsamic vinegar, just so we could compare, and so we would be more knowledgeable. But what we noticed is obviously it was a lot thinner. The flavor was less intense, but it did have the caramel color in there and the things and sugar. So it's things that don't necessarily want.
Right, people are trying to avoid sugar
exactly.
at all costs.
So again, if you come in, you can try them all and you can just compare the difference to your and see what you like. We do also have a couple of white balsamic vinegars that are aged for 12 years. And the difference there between, say, the 15 years fruit balsamics that we have is the white would be aged in stainless steel.
Okay.
And it's also
I was
cooked over.
How they got the color out.
Right. They also cook it over high heat. But I have to mention the star of our show is our 25-year aged balsamic. So somebody's been planning for a very long time, and they come up with something with. It's hard to believe it's vinegar because it tastes very sweet, and
Without sugar.
without sugar, and it's delicious and it's super versatile.
That's awesome. So 25 years, that is an investment. So what keeps it from, how do you keep that kind of thing fresh? Is it just the nature of the beast?
The nature of the beast.
Yeah.
And so balsamics are great too with their shelf life, 3 to 5 years.
Oh.
And you can just keep them on your counter. You don't have to refrigerate them. You do want to keep them in kind of like a dark bottle to prevent light and heat from.
So which oil is this that you brought?
So this particular one, this is the only thing that we pre-bottle, and it's our bread and dipping oil. So it's a third of our 25-year balsamic and 2/3 of extra
so
virgin
it's already
olive oil.
mixed.
It's already mixed.
Okay.
And it has a little bit of spices, and this particular one is rosemary, garlic.
Okay. I noticed that on the bottle I can see that there's something in there. So you want to just pour a little tiny bit out and let's just
Absolutely.
take a quick look?
So all of our bottles have a nice built-in pour
Oh, yeah.
spout. So
And you don't have to shake it?
no,
Okay.
no, you'll see when it comes out. It'll be the olive oil, and then the balsamic,
Oh, and then the vinegar comes out separate.
and so you can make a really neat
Oh,
little,
that's neat.
right, and then the spices come out. I wish I had some bread.
Oh,
But
well, it's pretty enough just like that.
Isn't that
That's-
neat?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
very cool. So that's already put together in that, so you don't have to come up with it on your own.
exactly,
Yay.
exactly, and we have 3 varieties of the dipping oil.
Okay.
But everything else people can try, and then once they select something, we'll fresh pour it for them, and we'll bottle it and seal it and date it so that
And
they
date it. That's the trick,
right.
That's very cool. I also noticed on your list of products that you have beauty products.
We do.
Made
We
with
do.
EVOO, which is extra virgin olive oil,
That's
right?
correct. That's correct.
Okay.
So they are also made specifically for the oilery by a pharmacist over in Italy. That's another relationship that Kurt and Amy Jo Campbell, they met a man named Fausto, and he has this beautiful line of lotions and anti-wrinkle creams. There are soaps, but olive oil is also interesting that it's the pH that the skin wants to be.
Right.
So if you have dry skin, it will bring it back to the middle, and oily skin, it will also bring it back to the middle. So
It's magical.
It is magical. I don't know how it does it, but it's it's kind of fascinating. So it's great for our skin, which is like our hugest organ.
Right.
Great for the outside of us as well as for the inside of us.
That's excellent. So then are they, what do I want to say, the earth-friendly and green, all the other things that people are looking for in makeup today, where
Absolutely.
they're not tested on critters?
Nope, they're very pure. The scent is really light and mild, so everybody remarks like how nice and neutral it is.
So is it mostly cleansing and moisturizing products, or do you have like eyeshadow and blush?
No,
and-
it's mostly cleansing and moisturizing
Okay.
products. And
That's cool.
Like there's some shaving cream and aftershave, as you can imagine, for people when they're shaving, like olive oil is slippery, so
Yeah, helps it slip right over.
it does.
That's all awesome. All right, so one of the things that Philip and I were talking about, we both are allergic to dairy now. And he seems to have a little bit more reaction than I do.
Okay.
And he's been using olive oil, like even on a baked potato. So I don't know, that kind of was a bad hot, but you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
There's
Instead of
a lot
butter.
yeah.
Yeah, and olive oil is really easy to use instead of butter. It's just a 1-to-1 ratio. We have some customers coming in saying that they're making a baked potato and then just putting our rosemary EVOO on it. And I love rosemary, so I'm definitely going to bring some home to do that. And and then we have a lot of we have a vanilla olive oil that a lot of people use in baking.
Okay.
And some nut and seed oils that are also
So
like
those are all organic ingredients that go into the oil then to infuse the flavors, right? I mean,
correct.
didn't-
There's it's just the simple ingredients, just keeps it pure. So people are finding that, you know, if they have food allergies, that they can eat these products, and it opens up a whole new window for them.
So where can people find your shop? So you were saying that there's new shops in Dallas and whereversville, but that's kind of far. So where is your business?
So we're super excited to be brand new
Yeah.
in Sun Prairie, and it was a really, we looked around at different locations and really loved Sun Prairie for all that it's bringing to this area. It's growing, it's wonderful.
Yeah.
So we're located in the shops in Prairie Lakes, which is over near Costco, which I know everybody knows. Everybody knows, and the new theater, which is also fabulous. We're right below Dragonfly Hot Yoga. Everybody seems to know that one too.
Okay.
And
Trying to picture which building it is, because there's a bunch of buildings there. But if you drive a little bit, you've got a really good sign. You can see it from all the roads back in there, so that's helpful. Do you have a phone number
we
to
do.
share? And do you have a website, a personal web or a store website, or?
Right. Our corporate website is Ollerie.com, and our personal one is Facebook/The Oilerie Sun Prairie, all one word. And then our phone number is 608-535-1300.
Excellent. I'm glad that you are also looking to Facebook for your website. Our Primal Air website is also only on Facebook.
Gotcha.
So websites are hard, man.
They are hard,
and they crash all the time.
So thank goodness for Facebook. So on Facebook, we're sharing more and more recipes as we're using the products, and then throughout the season, it'll be more seasonal.
Yeah.
So it's
and people can probably ask questions and everything.
Absolutely.
So say it one more time. Facebook.
Facebook.com/The Oilerie Sun Prairie.
Okay, so you got to get that Sun Prairie in there. Well, thank you, Lori, so much for coming today
thank you,
and sharing
Shirley.
your excitement about your new business.
Thank you.
About the oils and the vinegar and your makeup. Well, not the makeup, but the
beauty products.
Beauty products. That's really exciting. So thanks again for coming, and maybe as we move along for Christmas or something, maybe we'll have you back and we can see if you got anything special for the Christmas holidays.
Wonderful. Thank you.
So thank you, everybody, for joining us today on The Spot for Health. This is Shirley Gutkowski, letting the community know where to go in Sun Prairie. Learn how to share these shows and these episodes on ksun.tv, or do the long version, sunprairiemediacenter.com, and find us there and share it with your friends. Let everybody know that you have a health show right here in Sun Prairie. Have a great day.